Hello, hello. What a phenomenal time to be around. What a phenomenal time to be alive, and what a phenomenal time to be in this section. I'm so sorry. We had a lot of back and forth technical issues, but I just want to find out if you can hear me. Let me just be sure again. Can you hear me? If you put on the chat, let me just know if you can hear me. We had some really big challenges here today. Let me know if you can hear me. If you can hear me, just let me know. Just click on chat. Let me know if you can hear me. Can you hear me? Those from Facebook or if you're on Instagram, let me just know if you can hear me. Can anyone hear me? I'm not getting a feedback. Can you hear me? Okay, I will assume that you can hear me clearly. I've tried to check on this side, but things are just not very cooperative this evening, but we're still gonna do this. Okay, because it's quite an important discussion to have. So we're just gonna dive into it today. And if you are able to catch up with us, that would be great. So today we are looking at very important topic, and I believe that is something we need to carry on talking about because last week we discussed about the signs of a loving and respectful wife, and today we're going to be looking at the signs of a loving and respectful husband. How would the wife know that the husband actually loves her or respect her? So we're going to first of all begin by highlighting what love really is in a relationship and what respect really is. And then we'll look at the practical aspect of what these things are. And when you say someone loves you, obviously, one simple way to describe this is the expression of affection towards you and in an unconditional way. Okay. So in action, in their behavior, and also in all circumstances. So this encompass caring for just what you're going to get out of the person, but rather it goes deeper to ensure that this person well-being is valued and prioritized. This person happiness without expecting anything in return. That is unconditionally loving someone in that marriage, in that relationship. And this happens in many ways that we're going to describe very shortly. And it reviews itself in our day-to-day behavior, our day-to-day interaction, and how we treat each other. But we're talking about how the husband would do this from the way the wife is going to view this. And then when you talk about respect, that's also very powerful. This is where someone is given very high regard, someone is valued, someone is cherished, and someone is highly appreciated. That regardless of the differences between the spouses, in a way that you acknowledge the unique perspectives, the strengths, and the contribution that each person make in that relationship. So that way you are showing respect to your spouse. And respect is mutual. Respect need to happen from the man's side and from the woman's side. But we're going to understand what exactly is marital love and marital respect, and how will a woman actually say this. And this is from extensively researching and extensively also understanding from my personal experiences and what I've observed even from my coaching room. What is respect and love to a woman? But before I go into that, I want us to talk about what respect and love is not to a woman. Okay? Because this is very important. We need to know what is respect and love to a woman. And then we're also going to look at what is respect and love not to a woman. And this is very important. So when the husband does this consistently, it is very clear and it's indicating to the woman that he does not actually love her or really care about her. So that's exactly what we want to cover. But let's begin by talking about what love and respect are not to a woman. And if you have any question, please you can drop it on the chat. If you have any comment to make, also do the same. But let's just examine this factor now and know if the man is actually respecting and loving the wife, and if the wife can actually affirm that these things are what proves that she's being loved and respected. Okay. So, what are love and respect to a woman? But in this part, I'm going to talk about what love and respect are not to a woman. Number one, absolute control and domination. Now, this involves where the actions and the decisions and the thoughts and the everything the woman has to offer, regardless of what it is not given any single chance. So it's only the man that does everything that has to do with speaking, sharing, discussing, talking, everything. So this is where there's no opinion that is being regarded, whether it's in your finance, whether it's in your day-to-day activities, in your behaviors, in your actions, and whatever you do with your spouse. So that's not love and respect. And then also we have dismissiveness and disregard. So if the woman says she's feeling this way, or she says a particular need is required, and in that process the man does not regard any suggestion at all in everything, then that's not love and respect. Dismissing and disregarding everything that has to do with thoughts, feelings, opinions about everything in the family, everything in the marriage relationship. That does not show love and respect. Yeah, there could be time of compromise. Just like I said last week, it's not everything the man says or the woman says that you're just gonna follow. You look at what works, you discuss it, you compromise, you find a way to move forward. But where everything the woman says is being dismissed, it's not being validated for whatever reason, then that is not love and respect. And this is completely invalidating the opinion for everything in the marriage and relationship. And that does not show value, and that does not show respect and regard. So it's important to ensure that even if you have different opinion about something and you feel like this is different, it's still good to discuss and talk about it. And it's not that it's everything that has to be done in the relationship or in the marriage, and the other person does not have any single opinion at all in everything. That is not acceptable. And then you also have neglect and indifference. When there's a deliberate ways of ensuring that the other person well-being is not regarded, the other person happiness, the other person's satisfaction is not regarded, then that does not show that the man is actually giving respect or love. So neglecting to see the other person rise, neglecting to support or find a way to ensure the other person also move forward in everything and what they are trying to do and achieve, that does not show that you actually love and respect that woman. And then when there's also constant criticism about the wife, constant criticism, there is nothing good, there is nothing right, there's nothing correct, but the woman is being blamed for everything in the marriage and in the relationship. That does not show love and respect. When you constantly find a way to ensure that everything the woman does is being criticized and is not correct, you never appreciate, you never praise, nothing happens in this regard. That does not show that you love and respect your wife as a man. And then we have this big elephant in the room called infidelity and betrayals. If the man is cheating, if the man is violating their marital commitment, if the man is not faithful to their marital vows, then that doesn't show that the man actually respect the wife or actually care about that relationship and that marriage. It's a complete violation of trust. So when you betray your wife trust because of infidelity, whether it's through pornography, through ex-boyfriend or ex-girlfriend or whatever things you do, it's completely unacceptable. And that does not show that you love and respect the woman. And then the other one again, which I believe is also very common and we need to pay attention, is emotional and physical abuse, where there's a deliberate causing of harm, whether it's mentally, emotionally, physically, for whatever reason, that does not show you respect and you love your wife or you love the person that is significant in your life as your spouse. Gaslighting, unnecessary name calling, and not wanting the person to do anything that is right, and physically hitting and abusing, then that does not show love and respect. And when the person does not even care about the wife's safety, about the wife's dignity, and they use words outside demean the person before their maybe in-laws, their friends, and even other people that the wife may not even know, for the sake of trying to feel better, that does not show that you love and respect your spouse. And when you show 100% conditional love, then that is also not showing love and respect in the marriage, in the relationship. So when you deliberately withhold love, withhold affection, appreciation, affirmation towards your spouse, for whatever reason, then that does not show that you actually love and respect your spouse, because eventually this will lead to resentment, mistrust, anger, frustration, and sometimes depression. And you don't want to have a wife in that situation. So these are some of the things that men can do that clearly is not love and respect in their marriage, in their relationship. And as a result of that, they have to change. So while you're watching this, you're looking at this, if you recognize any of this, then you need to find a way to avoid these harmful behaviors. The husband must clearly cultivate ways so that the marriage and relationship will not get to a point where they can't even repair anything anymore. Because by the time you cultivate this habit of knowing how to love and respect the woman or the wife in your heart, in your life, then there is no way there won't be mutual flourishing, like thriving together. But this will require a lot of effort from your side to do things a little bit different and to make sure that your marriage and relationship is worth your investment at the end of the day. So, this is just simple, clearly itemized way that love and respect is not to the woman. But we're going to talk about what exactly now is love and respect to the woman. How would the woman know that the husband actually love and respect her? Because that is very, very important. If they get that right, then that will go a long way to affect the relationship and also make it better. But don't go anywhere. I'm going to be back very shortly. We'll just take this short minute break and we'll be back to just wrap this up and just find a way to actually navigate your relationship if those challenges still exist in your marriage. So I'll be back. Speak soon. Hello, hello, welcome back to Married Live TV. This is our Thursday show where we share tips, strategies, and tools to support your marriage and relationship to grow and to be better. So, we've been talking about the signs of a loving and respectful husband, and we've highlighted the fact that there are things that the husband does that honestly it is not love and respect. And we looked at some of those things that we must avoid if we really want our wives to feel loved and respected. Things like control and domination, dismissiveness and disregard, neglect and indifference that is not working, criticizing, practicing fidelity and betrayal, physical abuse or emotional abuse of all kind of abuse, and then loving conditionally. Those things are not acceptable and they are not love and respect to your wife either. But how do we now know that the man loves the wife and the husband actually loves the missus in their life? There are things that we can see. There are things that is very evident. And that can also help you to know exactly what to do to support your marriage and relationship. So how will a woman know, okay, that you truly, truly love her, which is so key and so important? Let's start with the love side of things. When you show affection and appreciation to the woman, right? Love involves appreciation. Love involves gratitude towards your wife, whether you're doing it in words, whether you're doing it in actions, surprising her with maybe heartfelt notes, uh, bouquet of flowers, or thoughtful gestures, or just spending time together. That also is important. That shows that you actually love the woman. I think, let me just talk about this prioritizing quality time together. That's also very key because the women are very emotional and they want to have that quality time. Now, most women, their love language could be different, but this is something that is important. There's no woman that wouldn't want you to prioritize her over a lot of things in your life. Dedicating time to spend, nurturing your connections, your intimacy, finding time to do date nights, finding time to get away, finding time to eat out, finding time to uh, play games at home together, finding time to pray together, read Bible together, whatever it is that is gonna just bond your relationship. That is important to women. Now, if you're the one that is so busy, that is so working, and you don't have time to do any of these things, then how will you actually say you love? Because one way to show that you love a woman is availability, time. If your time is spent in every other things, but you no longer have time for your wife, for whatever reason, then it shows that the love is going down. And if you don't do that at all, the love is vanished. So you can be in your marriage and relationship and still not feel connected. Sometimes you hear the woman say, "I'm not emotionally connected. I'm not attached to my husband anymore. I don't feel this. I don't feel that." Sometimes they even say, they don't feel that the husband loves them anymore. Why? Because it's not just words. Sometimes they say actions speak louder than words. So if your actions are not actually showing that you truly, truly love your wife, then how will you claim that you do by having an opposite action or just speaking words, but there is no proper time for your spouse? Another one that shows you also love is emotional support and encouragement. Because women need emotional security, emotional support, encouragement during when they are up, when they are down, when they are having triumph, when they are having challenges. These are very practical ways to support your wife to feel that you really care. But when the woman is going through things and you just turn blind eyed, or you face the other way, or you behave as if she's not going through anything, now how will you say that you actually love that woman? Then that does not show that you have proper perspective towards your wife, and that will not work at the end of the day. So this is very, very important that you show that practical support. You can make her to be more confident, be her cheerleader, offering words of encouragement, reassuring her when she faces difficulties, or she's trying to do something, you can see that she's struggling, and you are there to support. And also, when you are there, you make her believe that there's nothing she cannot do, there's nothing she cannot conquer. Sometimes you can even take action on her behalf just to show that you really want her to move forward. That, these are gifts, these are talent, these are business, or whatever it is. You are really, really involved and really supporting in whichever way you can. When that is not happening, it doesn't show that you truly love and you truly value her. Another way that the woman will also feel that you love her is by respecting her needs. Those needs, there are things that your wife need from you, and this need might differ from what you want. But how do you provide those needs? From her love language, from her desires, from her likes? Those are very, very important, and this is why you have to communicate openly, honestly about everything. And where you have to make compromises, where you have to adjust to accommodate each other's needs, then that happens. So you need to find way to know what your wife really, really wants. And there's nothing wrong asking questions and saying, this is what I want, this is what I want. Or asking her, what do you want? How do you want me to do things? And then they'll be able to tell you. And the woman should be free to say her desires. That is another way to know that you care. Demonstrating forgiveness and grace, extending forgiveness to her, grace towards your wife, shortcomings, providing second chances, letting go of certain things that have happened in the past, offenses, and just practicing that forgiveness, letting go of grudges, resentments, sincerely apologizing for your wrong and for the things you have done, perhaps directly or indirectly to hurt her. Choosing reconciliation and restoring your love back is important. Don't always stay in the place of bitterness, resentment, and pain. At the end of the day, that will not even help your love to grow. It's just gonna cause more problems to your relationship. So it's important and very critical that as you show love, take away every form of resentment, every form of bitterness. Just let go of things and just find your wife as someone that is worthy of your forgiveness and grace. Another way to show love is to be expressive in your gratitude and thanksgiving. Let your wife know that her presence in your life matters. Let her know on a daily basis that her contributions, her sacrifice, her support, everything she's doing for yourself, for the children, if you have one, and also for the family, express gratitude, thanksgiving, and not taking what she's doing for granted, because she's there to enrich your life, enrich the life of the children. Whether it's through a simple way of just saying thank you for all this, thank you for this act, thank you for this kindness, thank you for this heartfelt knowledge that I know that you're there for me. Just appreciating and supporting your wife to know that you really, really care about them is really, really important, and that can really help your relationship to grow. Showing empathy, showing compassion is also important. Putting yourself in the woman's shoe based on her struggles and challenges. This is also very good. And empathically communicate, empathically show you are feeling concerned about things. Validate her experiences and find a way to support where necessary. But where you just come by perhaps direct judgment or just not showing any form of comfort or reassurance to what she's going through, especially when she's having adversity, challenges, and pain, and you just talk less of it, or even make jest, or even just show your inner unconsigned nature, that will not help the relationship. That will not help. Also, celebrating her milestones and achievements and things that she's doing, it's also good to celebrate your wife's achievement. Rejoice with her successes. Don't compete. Acknowledge her accomplishment. Validate what she have been through and to arrive at this point. It's very, very important to look at occasions, you know, birthdays, anniversaries, whether career milestones, whatever it is. Show surprises, gestures, heartfelt celebrations to show that you're you really care. Taking away any form of pride and just supporting your wife genuinely from your heart. Celebrating, what she's accomplished and what she's doing. Finally, to show love, you need to sacrifice endlessly. You don't show love by sacrificing for a while, because her well-being is very critical for you. So it's important to prioritize that need. Prioritize the happiness of that individual, your wife, and where you need to sacrifice to make sure that the woman well-being is maintained, then you go ahead and do so, accommodating those preferences and looking for ways to just share mutually and compromise to ensure that both of you ultimately live in happiness, in peace, in joy, and in harmony. These are ways that you can show that you really, really love your wife. And remember, actions speak louder than words. But how do you also show respect? Does she also need respect from you? Absolutely, yes. Valuing her opinions and her input on things as well. and then also to think differently, and also to plan jointly on different matters within your home, within your marriage, ensuring that you genuinely bring your wife along before any major decisions are being made in any aspect of the marriage and relationship. That awareness shows that you value her input, acknowledging her strength and her abilities. This is so powerful because your wife has strength, your wife have talent and gift, your wife have things that God has deposited in her, and you acknowledging that and bringing support and finding a way to ensure that she's fully developed, activate, and begin to deploy these incredible potentials that God has given to her. It shows that you really care. It shows that you really love that woman. And then what about listening attentively? This is another critical one as well, that the husband must listen to the wife. Now, most times when you are in the heat of things, you don't even want to listen, you don't even want to talk. But even at the same time, find time to come back and have a conversation and then listen to what she have to say and then find a way to move forward from there. Because if you are not listening, maybe she's talking, you're always interrupting, you're the one that is dismissing, you're the one that is not just wanting the person be and express their thought to you, and then you just shut them down all the time and you don't want them to be able to share. Then how would that person really commit themselves and yield themselves to you? So this is very important that we do that. And then we also need to support her goals and dreams. you know Look at the goals she has, look at the personal goals, look at her plan, both for the family. You work together in synergizing and syncing together, merging together, so you can have a productive and goal oriented future or years, because you've really made the foundation strong, that you have to work together, you have to do things together, you have to plan and to support. That is very important to help the woman and to continue to support her. What about honoring her feelings and her emotions? This is very important. Sometimes the woman can be very expressive, sometimes it can be sharing all sorts of things, but you just understanding why is this person acting like this. Sometimes the expressiveness of the emotions can even create a problem. It can make somebody begin to say what they shouldn't, especially when they're upset and all that. So it's very important to watch out for this and to ensure that you don't get yourself entangled in such a situation where you continue to do things that does not support the acknowledgement, the validation, and the support required to make sure that the woman feelings and emotions are looked after. So you as a man, you need to have a step ahead mentality to find a way to support your wife to be better every time, any moment. And respecting her individuality as well is another way, okay, which is very good. There are certain hobbies, there are certain interests, there are certain things that she may want to do that I tell you might not even want to get involved. But for the sake of peace and unity and trying to do things together, you find a way around it to ensure that that particular thing you want to do or she wants to do works and both of you are respected as well. So, but if you do not allow the person to become the truth that they believe about their strength, about their individuality, about their fullness, then that becomes a problem and they're not able to fully express their uniqueness. Now, protecting her dignity, honor, not uh, destroying her reputation before your friends, family, in-laws, not destroying her dignity, finding a way to refrain from any kind of conversation, whether it's gossip, criticism, action, anything that is going to ensure that your wife is looked down on and the woman is not cherished the way it should be. Whether it's in front of your children, whether it's in front of any man, it is not acceptable at all to be able to do anything or act in a way that makes the man s- do things that the wife doesn't want. So that is very important to honor and to dignify the woman as well. We also need to find a way to communicate. See, one of the biggest challenges they have in marriage and relationship is the inability to communicate very well and to disagree in peace and work together for so many other things. So when things are happening, if you are just there to gaslight, if you're just there to accuse and you're not looking for solution for your wife or what you guys are in, it doesn't show that you respect the woman. So respectful conversation is where it's open, each person can share their mind and find a way to manage the situation and come out at the other side still husband and wife, loving, caring, and supportive. So this is why listening is very, very important. This is why understanding what is going is we're going to the root cause of the problem is very important to help you guys to work very, very well. This is so, so important. And then also it's also very important as for the woman to acknowledge and to know that the husband actually sees her as a co-equal partner. To acknowledging her authority as a co-equal partner is source that came from God. So that is very important to recognize that. And when you are having that discussion, when you are discussing about these things, it makes the person feel like they are part of that thing, they're part of what is going on. But when the woman is not feeling that she's equal, I'm not talking about headship, I'm not talking about equality, and she have the same right just like you within that marriage and relationship, then it becomes a problem when she doesn't feel like that. And if it's happening, then you need to find a way to discuss this. You need to look for ways to navigate. Otherwise, then you can call a professional to help you guys do that, which is very, very important. We also have, as part of lack of respect that is not in the relationship, then you have to build up. You have to make up your mind. You have to make sure that you, as a person, do everything to make sure you support your marriage and relationship. But when it now comes to you finding a way to continuously respect, continuously value your husband the way God wants you guys to be valued, then you cannot underestimate the power of listening attentively to what she's saying. You just have to listen, because if you don't listen, the impact will be very clear, and that will not help your marriage and relationship as well. So listen attentively when the woman is sharing or discussing. Find a way also to value her opinion and her input in everything she's doing. All these things support the woman to ensure that she's grounded and she knows that the future is still very, very bright for your marriage and relationship. So by the time you look into this, it's very, very important to see what can I do better as a man to support my wife to feel loved and respected. And we've highlighted these things. And then you can also ask your wife, how do you want me to act? What are the things that if I do, it shows that you love and respected? Because this can be very dynamic. Every woman are very unique in their own right. So having that conversation will help your marriage and relationship to really grow and to be stronger and better. So I will wrap this up here, but I want to just emphasize that if you have not watched the last week one, which is the signs of a loving wife, please do everything you can to watch it. Okay, look at the page and just look at the signs of a loving and respectful wife. And now we'll balance both so that we know what the man needs to do, what the woman needs to do. Now it is time to do. It's time to act. It's time to perform, to practice it, so that it become a reality in your life. And at the end of the day, your relationship with your wife, with your spouse, will become stronger, stronger, and stronger. Okay. So I want to appreciate you, but don't forget next week, Thursday, we're going to be coming back here again to have an awesome time as we discuss more deeply. But for tonight, I want to say thank you so much for your time, and I appreciate the opportunity that we've had to just learn this. So, do we have any question? Let me see. Okay. Right. Thank you for all the comment. I really appreciate that. So, I want to just encourage you to go back and watch this and find what are the things that I need to do now? What are the things I'm not doing well? And what are the things I need to stop? So that's the purpose of this call. What you need to start, what you need to stop doing, which is very, very important, because it's not everything that you're doing that is going to yield the desired result. So looking into the dynamics will give you the opportunity to truly, 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 truly build an incredible home with your spouse. Okay. So thank you so much for joining me today. Chinda Chinda, I'm a life relationship and performance coach, and I help couples as well to build relationship that they can navigate throughout the day and throughout the week so they can be able to live their life in peace and in harmony together. So thank you for joining today. And any suggestion, any support that you might need, please feel free to just send it to us. I'll be able to do everything we can to support you and to make sure that your relationship with God continues regardless. Okay. So thank you very much. And I will speak to you guys next week. God bless you. I will speak soon.